All right now, look and watch. It's Keep Up. Stillvinsane.
And Robert Mercado World. Hey.
Hey, and if you're kind of confused of like why there's two multiracial looking people, one's multiracial looking. It's because we have a brand new co-host. Welcome, Robert Mercado. I would introduce him, but he'll do a much better job of it. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, I am Robert Mercado. I'm an actor, filmmaker, director, screenwriter, all the multi-hyphenates, performer. I'm a J-Lo, I'm all that, yeah. I'm based out of New York, and I am venturing out into this podcast world for the first time with my friend, Mr. Vinsane. So he's still Vinsane and I'm still insane. So we're gonna make magic this season. I'm looking forward to it.
All up in the membrane. We got this, man. We got this. Robert, no, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. If nobody, all those were facts, by the way. But if you need to fact check, he's on IMDb. He's an accomplished filmmaker. He is a working actor. There's not many people that can say that. He's not just a content creator. He was creating content for you guys. Were making macaroni necklaces for your dad, like if you have one. But no. Again, it's a huge pleasure. We've been, doing some dry rehearsals. We're trying to get our chemistry, which is already great. Happy Women's History Month. All types of things going on, and also welcome back, fans. We haven't premiered an episode of this show. This is season 5. I've been doing this for like almost 6 years, and we've had different co-hosts. Hopefully, Robert. Hopefully, you're the main one. Hopefully, we've kissed all our frogs that we've had to. And
You can kiss me too.
Of course. I blushing with my ultra filter. Robert called me out. He said that he said I look like I got some work done. I'm like, yes. Why can't if Ryan Gosling could have Botox while he's doing I'm Ken? I could have some filters. You know what I'm saying? It's so rampant now. Like it's so normal now. Like if you live in LA and you don't have Botox, it's like, what are you doing?
What are you even doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Who are you?
Are you like a pit bull? Why do you have those lines in your forehead?
You have pores.
The crow. You have pores? You actually perspirate? Good point, Robert. Good point. But no, so we haven't recorded an episode. There was a whole bunch of bull crap. I'm not as petty as I used to be, so we're not going to go into that. But we'll go into something slightly sad. My main dog, my soulmate, Saturday, she's right next to me over here. I could put a little image for the graphics, but she's my former dog. She's not my former dog, but she passed away last August. There was a bunch of stuff happening. I was having pressure with my day job. We were waiting for Robert. We were trying to clear house for Robert. And no, I didn't realize how much of a muse she was to me. Robert, I know that can relate to this. Like, we're not robots. Like, even though we love to create things, we have feelings, we have emotions, and it charges into our work. I know a lot of people have that cliche, like art imitates life, though. I didn't realize how much of a source of happiness she was for me, and she still is. And it was and that's a big reason I was trying to truck through, and I just really needed to mourn for her because she was that amazing. She was that important in my life. And even like the rants that I do on my phone, which I'm very grateful for, my little mini influencer group that enjoys my rants. Thank you so much for supporting me. I'm back though. I'm back. It was hard. You know my style. I'm jaded. It's hard to be like that when shit actually is jaded. Like you could fake it and like try to be like Daria. I know that might be outdated for some people out there, but it's just the way I work. Plus, we weren't going outside. I didn't realize how much of a big deal that was to my content. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ashamed of like how the way I live, but like whenever I'm inspired, it's like going to see someone else's art. When Robert's like throwing a play, or if we're doing a film together or a feature or something like that, I get inspired by that. And I don't get inspired just by like sitting at home all day. And I didn't mean to overtake that, Robert.
No, I think the people want to know where the hell you've been. That's the first segment today. Where the hell have I been? Right?
I was hibernating, motherfuckers. I was hibernating. I'm back.
That's what
I'm
the
back.
fuck happened. It's appropriate.
I'm ready to put a cap in Leo's ass, man. I'm that type of bear, motherfucker. No.
Okay.
Anyway, are we ready to get in our first segment? Robert's first segment on Keep Up?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's pop that motherfucking cherry. I'm too amped.
I'm too old. Okay.
I'm too old. Ah! What the fuck happened? All right. This is our little mini politics segment. We're not a political show, but like, every once in a while you're gonna see some TikToks out there, which funny enough. You're gonna see some reels, get like our little opinions that don't get us in trouble, of course. Sorry, Melissa Barrera and anybody like you. We don't want to get canceled. I'm not gonna lie, my earlier episodes, Robert would have blushed a little bit, but we've matured. We don't go for the toilet humor as much as anymore. We don't mind cursing. We're adults. That's fine. Lowbrow, subjective. You know what I'm saying? But we try to keep it classy, San Diego. Trying our best. So, speaking of TikTok, once again, so let's give you some of the facts. TikTok kind of got banned today. Congress, only 65 people voted no. There's around 235 delegates that voted yes for a bill to basically give an ultimatum to ByteDance, who owns TikTok. And there's 170 million users, and not even just kids in America, not even worldwide, in America that use TikTok. It's like kind of like we're addicted to it. And I'm not gonna lie, I like TikTok myself. I try not to be on it as much as the average user, but like I said, try. Like when you have to try, it's already a problem. And I didn't really get down with what was the one before that? The one where all they got famous, like Charlemagne the God and all that. Vine. I wasn't really into Vine, but now I made up for it. I'm into TikTok. It's pretty much the same thing. And so and again, I don't. One of the reasons why we're not trying to dominate the show with politics is because sometimes it ends up going back to the orange guy like all the time. And so, and you won't hear me say this much because I'll admit it. I don't like him. I don't like him. So I don't really like. And I used to work in news. They used to force me to talk about him like every fucking day. But he kind of, but he backtracked too. So let's get a timeline. He wanted to ban TikTok when he was in his administration. And so I need to pull this up. My tablet always takes me out of it. Whatever, I'll sacrifice it. He was against TikTok when he was a president. Now he's opposed to the bill because, and he won't say this out loud, but you always got to follow the money. He is a friend of Jess Yass, who has a major stake in the platform. He is also paying Kelly Conway. You guys remember her alternative facts. His former
Kellyanne Conway.
Yes. So she doesn't like officially work for him now. Now she's a lobbyist for him, which he's not even in politics anymore. So I don't know how that works. Like I'm not a president anymore, but go lobby for me. Like save my seat, I guess. I don't even know. Like even with the border bill, keep my seat warm, Biden. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back to handle that border. Like that was crazy. He's not even in office and he still gets politicians to do what he wants. But anyway, Jeff Yass, like I said, follow the money. Like his friend, just like when he was in politics, he always did that. Like, he even admitted it. He said, I don't pay my fair share because that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Rich people don't. And I'm letting you know that, like, we don't. And even when he was in power, and, other people have done it too, but it's kind of more noticeable because a lot of them are in entertainment and stuff like that. And yeah. And so they voted to ban it unless it's like an ultimatum, not like an ultimatum. It is an ultimatum. The Chinese company, which they're like pseudo Taiwanese. They even made alterations when Trump like put pressure on them last time, and they made entities where China wasn't able to get their data, which is a huge breach. China we're cool with, but not with data, not with trade. They're still a major competitor with us, especially with IPs that they steal, trademarks, a whole bunch of shit, trade wars. We're still kind of like in a Cold War with them, but we don't want them owning our information. So they want them to transfer ownership to a U.S. CEO, president. They want it to be a whole U.S. app so that we won't have our information breached. Because again, 170 million people, that's a shit ton. And on top of that, people are putting face recognition, AI, stealing identity, privacy, things that we're giving away information, which, to be honest, I mean, we're all the way in. For me personally, unless you were just born, that's the only way to get off the grid. I'm done. I gave the intro, Robert. I know you got a lot to say about it.
Well, I'll just lead by saying I had this discussion with my mom this morning.
Big Lou.
TikTok.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, and she was just like, I don't appreciate this. She loves TikTok. She has a claim to fame. She
Rightfully
has
so.
2 million views on one video that she posted about the marathon that just passed this last
Oh, I'm
earlier
jealous,
a few
Lou.
months ago.
Oh, I'm
Right.
jealous. Tell me your
So
secrets,
she
girl. Tell me your secrets.
she she just says, "Oh, she has the Sia song on it. Put my armor on." She said, "I think
That's
that
sick.
song."
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she's like,
awesome. I didn't even know that.
so she's like got better views than me. So she's pissed off. She's just like she loves TikTok. She says she's like, I think being in your 20s in the 70s was better than being in your 20s in the 2020s. She's like the freedoms are just gone. She's like the government's taking away our rights. And she's like you kids you wouldn't know because you don't, you didn't live in a different time, but she's like think of all the things that are atrocities going on around the world that TikTok kind of keeps you informed about. Like randomly, someone's like, "Hey, what's going on in
True.
Sudan?" or whatever. But now they're going to be controlling that, that funnel of information. And I get, my argument was that I understand how having that TikTok algorithm come up, and a lot of kids do interact with TikTok, and essentially having a foreign entity controlling the algorithms that we see can be a little bit
Watch out for that balloon.
dangerous.
Watch out for that balloon.
Right. Like if we're all fucked up and if they're distracting all the youth of today in America with some bullshit, then it makes sense why there might be some skepticism or at least some hesitancy about having it accessible to the wide population. But I also see the other side where it's like, let's make our decisions. But overall, I do think it's something to think about when there's like I told my mom, I said, but what about if all of a sudden there's a war, and now because we all have this damn TikTok, they can send and shut off all our phones. I mean, I think a lot of our phones aren't even made in the US anyway, so that's probably already built in. But if it's,
Very true.
TikTok could have there's people who might be in the government that have special, access and things like that. And now that TikTok worm got sent through just maybe because your daughter has it and it's attached to your email. Who the hell knows?
Man,
So
she got the cooties.
you just never
She
know.
got the
So
cyber
yeah.
cooties.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have much to say. I know we got a lot of other topics to bang through, but hey, TikTok, so be it. One less social media platform. I think we could figure it out. I think we'll be all right, you know.
Well, not yeah, I got a couple, I got not a couple, like just one more thing about that. They have this app, Telegraph. Yeah, you're right. There's not that many encrypted social media platforms. You're right. There's too many, but I actually really like it. I really hope they come to a median. They were really racist during that social media interrogation when they were up on the panel for the Senate. So many of them were like, "Are you Chinese?" And he was from Singapore. Like it was just really aggressive. I get it though. I get it though. Obama, when he was in office, he I forgot the total number, but he allocated a certain amount for cybersecurity because at the time, and it's gotten even worse, like you just said, North Korea is trying to get in our shit. That AT&T block tower. We were talking about the shutdown of Meta during one of our dry rehearsals during the Super Tuesday. China's trying to get in our stuff. Russia interfered with our election. Like they, and they probably are doing
Russia
it again.
interfered with our election. Nice.
They did. It was all the agencies said so.
All the agencies. Is this sponsored by Hillary at the bottom?
No, this is not the Steele dossier. No, no, no. But no, honestly, and not to say this is the ultimate information, but John Bolton is not even a fan of Trump at all. He was
John
the
Bolton.
head of the national the national security, and he agreed too. He was like, I saw the information, and they did meddle. They did meddle in the election. Um, Even when James Comey admitted it, he was the head of the FBI. Like, so everybody's wrong and just Trump is right. Like, is that the argument on this one? Is that so? I don't always believe in agencies, but I don't believe him. So like, I'm gonna believe them over him. Sorry, like he's never told the truth. So anyway, my point is that it doesn't matter who's in administration. They have all tried. They have all tried, and not even just through the election, not even just breaching the DNC conveniently when Hillary was in office and when Hillary was campaigning. They've done it many times, and even if you've watched Homeland, they had a great season where they kind of like mimicked Alex Jones. He actually sued the show because it mimicked him too hard, and they kind of make him like the new like TV terrorist, not him, but like the archetype, like the kind like him, like where you're just pushing information, disinformation, and you just keep pushing it and pushing it, and people just forget what the truth is. And in Russia, that goes on a lot. Like even with the Ukrainian war, for like months, they said to their people the war wasn't even happening. And propaganda, we've known it from the Nazi days. So it's crazy out there. And so I agree. We need to like come to a medium because we can't just be fancy free because we're being entertained. We need to be safe. And I don't know if it has to not be owned by China entirely, but there needs to be safeguards so we're not losing our information. That's it.
All right.
All right, enough said.
Who is Seth Rich?
What the fuck did I hear? All right, guys, this is the music segment, and this is Robert's about to dominate this. But to be honest, to be fair, it was kind of a snoozer before he got here. I was just naming rap albums and shit like that. He's got plenty of music news that we need. So Robert, start us off, man.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start with the top one that I see here, and it's I'm just gonna jump right in because one of the newest songs that came out was Cardi B's "Like What," and it was her freestyle.
She's a
Right?
bitch. Not joking.
Yeah, yeah, and that one, we were discussing it, what our thoughts were, so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit before we move
Of
on to the other
course.
stories in music news. And I will just say I liked it. I really enjoyed, especially with I watched it with the video, so I feel like the video made a really strong impression on me. I thought she's known for her style, as they say. She puts her whole pussy in it, man. She's just like she's fucking Cardi B, she performs and she's just gives that badass vibe, that bad bitch energy. And I think it accomplished its mission. She called it a
New
freestyle,
York.
right? She called it a freestyle. I think she didn't want to make too much of it in case it was a flop or something, because she doesn't want to take any more L's in that world. And I know you
Oh,
were
damn.
interested in talking about what Joe Budden had to say, so that might be a good segue into that.
So, guys, pre-production, Robert, rightfully so, to be honest, he was like, "Do we need that?" Yo, guys, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to stir the pot. Robert's here for the positive news, and I don't know if you guys are old enough. Some of you guys, sipping on the Baba. Um, he's the Angie Martinez. I'm the Wendy Williams. I'm here to bring the fucking noise. So yes, a lot of praise for Cardi B. And you do some shade. You do some shade, Nicki fan. I saw that. I saw that. She don't
I
want to take no
never
more
would
L's.
shade Cardress
I heard
B.
that.
I love her.
I heard that over there. Don't know that.
No.
That didn't slip. That didn't get by me.
What?
That didn't get by me.
I love Cardi B. You know where she's at. You know where
You
she
want to
be.
take no more L's.
Well,
So
because the song didn't perform the way we would have wanted them to.
it did terrible. It did terrible.
You
You're
know,
right.
like bongos. It was it was a beautiful video, beautiful choreo, beautiful gowns, as Aretha would say. But you know,
But so I'm a huge Cardi B fan. Huge. I said this on one of our rehearsals. I think Nicki Minaj is 10 times, especially for someone who writes shit. Like Cardi B don't write nothing. I don't even think she wrote her name on a napkin before. Like
no,
I
don't come
love
for Cardi. Don't
I
come for
love Cardi.
Cardi.
I love Cardi, but like nobody run into her book club. So, but like Nicki Minaj, she's super talented, super talented. Cardi B, again, I really like it. I like going to her shows more than Nicki, to be honest. She's a product. She's more like a NASCAR. She's like there's a lot of people that make Cardi B. And Nicki Minaj called it out one time. She was like, whatever you feel about my music, it's all me. I don't have a group of dudes making me. She's like, it's me. I write it, I arrange it, I like make sure that my fingerprints are all over that. And I really respect that. I don't think all
She
artists have
says,
to do that, but when they can do that, you should appreciate it. Oh,
she
sorry,
says,
if I
what
said
is
the wrong
it?
thing, go ahead.
No, she
You're the
says
real
whack or
fan.
lit. I wrote every word I spit, Nikki.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
but
Represent. Know that.
Listen, I love Nicki. I think we don't even need to compare the two. We don't need to compare any of these artists. I think
They're not
Cardi's in her
comparable.
own, Cardi's
The
in her own
media
lane.
forces it too.
She definitely stepped right in that door that Nicki helped open, after a long
I agree.
stagnant time where female rappers weren't in the forefront. And Cardi B stepped right in there. People have had this conversation about she's an industry plant. I know Azalea Banks went on a whole rant saying,
Cardi?
"Oh,
Eh,
yeah, Cardi came
she
in
is,
because
but not.
there was
I don't think Cardi's
people."
in on it.
Yeah, I think Cardi B, she's someone who wants to make money at the end of the day. She's always said it. She follows the money bags. Money bag, money bag, money
Money bag,
bag.
money
And
bag. That's one of my favorite songs. I
and
love
she's
that
following
song.
that
I
coin.
got
And she's
bags in the room.
she's a fucking performer. She performs the house down boots, as they would say. And yeah. I just think I like the song. Not necessarily my favorite. If I see the video playing at the club, I probably will get hype. I'll do my little fake Mariah Carey dance with my hookah in my hand or something, or my mocktail. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the
A
rest. I'm looking for
mocktail.
wait. She has a song with Shakira coming out. So I think Shakira's album will drop March
But Shakira's
22nd.
album's coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
March
but that's gonna be on
22nd.
Shakira's
So
album. It's not gonna.
no, but
Yeah, but
that means
another single. What is she, J. Cole now? Like during the
she's gonna have a number one on the
2010s?
charts,
Like
Cardi. Cardi's gonna have a number one on the charts in 2024.
that.
That's all that
That's not.
matters.
That's not all that matters. That's not okay. So that's why we got to get into Joe Budden. That's exactly why we got to bring him up.
We gotta get
So
through it. Come on.
all right. So Joe Budden said that female rap is over. That kind of wave is over. It never was over. It never was like a way. Like just men have a very habit of pushing female artists down in their male dominated industry. I don't even have to name all of them. They're amazing. They're here to stay. So he's fucking wrong. He's very sexist for saying that. It was dumb. It was clickbait. He just did that because he knows it goes viral. But where I will agree with him is her sophomore album. And she admitted this in an interview. She said there's a lot of pressure, especially with the Nicki Minaj thing, other rappers. Like, if my sophomore album sucks, my career is done. So she didn't say in those words, I'm paraphrasing. And he's pretty much repeating what she said. That's the only thing that I agree on. What the fuck are you waiting for? Why are you being all scared? You have all the best industry writers behind you. How the hell are you not? How the hell is it gonna suck? But if it sucks like this song, this song was trash. Super trash. This is the worst song she ever came out with, like by
Wow.
far. The guy Ski Master Slump God, where she got the flow from, which is not a bad thing. She gets a lot of her flows from Florida rappers like Kodak Black. They've all acknowledged it. She acknowledges it. It's a cool thing they're doing. And then we didn't even mention the GOAT, Missy Elliott and Timberland, the first original beat where they sampled it from. It was a dud, dude. She didn't even outperform those two songs. She's not outperforming any of her catalog. It was a dud. And so if that's like a sign of things to come, I hope not. I hope not because I'm a big fan.
I'll just say, yeah, you don't really ever kill Missy on a track. Like that's something I would think would be impossible because Missy is
Good
just
point.
iconic. She's just
Yes.
iconic. The stuff that she does, people cannot do. That she is a legit singer. She's a legit writer. She's a legit style icon. Like,
Oh, you are preaching to the choir.
like
She
Lil
is.
Kim would
I will
say,
never speak ill of Missy.
I'm an original, unduplicatable kind of sexy. So same for
Speaking of
Missy.
which, I want to add this before we get to your topics real quick. That's the thing I don't like about Nicki Minaj. I don't like how she pretends that there is nobody before her, even though she puts the whole Chung Lee thing on like Little Kim. How you gonna copy the bitch and then be like, I don't like her?
First
Like
of
that
all,
didn't make
don't call her
sense.
the bitch. You're not gay. Only gay people get to use that. But listen,
Welcome to the show.
Nicki Minaj has given many, many, many a flower to Lil Kim. I know Lil Kim has said,
Oh,
"Oh, it's like, yeah, she said it.
they
Her
beefing
influence.
now.
She it's
Second,
it's
second,
water
she
on the
doesn't get
bridge."
along much with younger rappers. Lotto, like I could
How
name so
many
many of them.
songs has she done with these young girls? And then look what just happened.
Not to outweigh the tweets that she makes, the shady tweets that she does. She does more of those.
But
than
these
just
girls go
collaborate.
ahead and like tweets and like subliminal disses from people and like the whole
Yeah,
shit that
because she's the
happened.
hoe.
All
She's
right,
the hoe
let's
of the
go real
industry right now.
quick.
Yeah,
Let's go real quick into what
you're right.
happened with Megan, right? Nikki came out and said, "Oh, I had asked her specifically
Megan
for
got the win
one
on that
thing."
one.
She said, asked her specifically for one thing if I would do this song with her, and she said fine. And when it came down to it, she went crickets, and then apparently, she eventually worked with the ops. And Nikki was like, "Oh, she's done to me, and we're done. We're just through."
That's how petty
Because
she
it was
is.
just,
That's not a good music artist. You can't put
yeah,
all those
but
emotions into
I'm
business.
sorry. It's always like that. It's like that. You work with my enemy, then there's no
There's for
need for
some
us to
artists,
work
she's a
together.
diva.
She
But
is
that's
a
why the
diva. She's been
industry,
around for 10
dude.
years before Cardi came out,
And they
So
called her the crazy auntie when she went on Twitter against Meg, and Meg didn't say nothing. She held it with. She's the younger one, and she held it with class, and she still went #1.
because
Mad people make fun of Nicki for that.
Nikki was just getting that press, and she wasn't gonna just let shit slide because she's not that person. You said you're the Wendy Williams. Well, the only person today who's anything like Wendy Williams in the media is Nicki Minaj. She's the most vocal, gonna say, even when she was talking about,
But
she
that's
was
why I
talking
don't really like her like that. But which is hypocritical because I like 50 Cent for that same reason. He
beef,
his
beef. Is that beef? That's
no,
Nicki
and
and
I love
50.
Queen. Shout out to Queen. She's from Southside. She literally is from the same neighborhood I grew up in. I should be a super fan, but again, there are some things about her I don't
Look,
like.
you
Those things.
cannot
I don't like how
deny.
pop she goes. I don't like the way her and Drake go into the singing and the pop. It makes them mad money, but they sound silly,
Okay,
and
it's
they don't.
you're I'm just gonna defend it with the next
Okay, go ahead,
portion
brother.
here, and it says Nicki Minaj scores third #1 album on Billboard 200 with Pink Friday 2. So she's still very relevant. This album, I felt she showed a lot of restraint with going into her voices and things like that. And she talked about it where she was like, it seems like there's gonna be another version of Pink Friday 2 coming out, like remixed with Roman and all that. So she's saving that. She wanted to give like that raw hip hop, like original gangsta feel, and just do that and let it. She said she wanted the album that even the guys could listen to and feel like, okay, I could fuck with that. So she did that with this version of Pink Friday too. And then, though she has some songs that are a little poppy, sampling Cyndi Lauper
Very.
and all that, there's that, but not as much
And how many
as
times are we
it
going to
could
hear a
have been.
female rapper do "Girls Want to Have Fun"? Like this is like the 7th time I've heard a girl do this, and she
Really?
is.
Name
Yes,
them. Who?
name them. You can even look it up right now. Why I gotta name them? I've heard it many
She
times.
doesn't, because Cyndi Lauper doesn't usually clear that. Girls just want to have
That's not
fun,
true.
and they
That's not
did
true.
it.
You can type
They
it right.
did it
We need a research guy. We need a research intern so we can do it quick. But mad
because
people have sampled that. Bad people have sampled that.
anyway, no one that's in the forefront that's gonna probably. I think by the time the summer comes, Nikki's gonna have a big hit on their hands with that one. But
You know what?
again, Nikki's tour has started. The Pink Friday 2 tour. Welcome to Gag City, y'all. I know you're gonna go see her. No matter
I
all
am. I
this you're
am. March
saying, you're gonna
28th
go
at the
see
Prudential
her.
Center.
You're excited as fuck.
Nobody from
I am gonna see
her
her.
her squad try to murder me while I'm out there.
Oh,
She
I'm here. I
weaponizes her
love.
fan crew.
That's my.
What
They
are they
used to
called
call me
again?
Bobby Minaj. I love
What are they
Nikki.
called? The Barbies, right? They're called the
The
Barbies, right?
Barbs. The
The
Barbs. How
Barbs.
dare
Oh,
you?
yo.
Okay. I'm a Barb. I love Nikki.
You
That's
are.
my bitch.
And
That's my
I
bitch.
just
I want.
dude, at this age, this is the age to sell out. I just don't think that I don't think she up there
This is the
anymore.
age to sell. She's not selling out. I feel like
And
she could have
dude,
went.
it's not even close to the first Spring Friday. It's not the best rap album of the year by
No, you
far.
know
Cultures is
what?
way
And
better
this
so
is
far.
no. You
Schoolboy
know
Q's is
what?
way better. Currencies is better.
No, you know what I told my brother? He's a big fan of Nicki Minaj, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I said, at first, I was like, I thought I gave her the first listen. I was just not sure. I had a little culture shock with it, and then I realized upon the second listen, I said, "You know what? This is the Nicki Minaj that she always wanted to be. This Nicki Minaj that she presented with Pink Friday 2. The old Nicki Minaj would have looked at it and said, "Oh my God, I love her. Like she's so fucking
She said
dope."
that in
Like
an interview.
this is Nicki Minaj going full Pink Hulk mode, just busting out her full big ass titties and being the Hulk female rap assassin that she is. She went off. These verses, Red Ruby the Sleaze, Red Ruby the Sleaze. Oh my God, no one has released anything that touches Red
It's
Ruby
not
the
trash,
Sleaze.
but I give it a 3 out of 5. It's not trash,
Red
but it's
Ruby the
not.
Sleaze.
It's alright.
That song, Red Ruby the Sleaze,
Well,
goes
the
off.
Club Up is the best song on the album, and maybe the one with Drake, which is not even a
Chinese
rap song.
on me.
Yeah, the Beatles song
Anyway,
is dope, and that's gonna be a summer hit.
that's
That for
not
sure
even
is gonna
my
be a summer
favorite. I
hit.
don't even love
But that's
that
not even a
song.
rap song. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't love
Like
that song. That's not on my
her
top
best songs
five.
now are pop songs.
No, no.
They don't chart anymore. Her album charts because she has a lot of fans who just are very dedicated to her, but she don't get spins anymore.
Well, also don't forget that she also was blacklisted for quite some time. But I will just say real quick, my favorites on that was Red Ruby the Sleeves, Beep Beep with 50 Cent, Pink Friday Girls, Big Difference. There's a big difference between
I listened to it three
you and
times. I
you.
wasn't lazy about it.
Falling
I
for
listened
you,
3 times.
falling for you. Okay, and
That
then
song's
that's
trash. That
all
one
I'm
was
gonna say
trash.
about that. I fucking am obsessed. I wish I was going. You should give me your ticket. I would
Well,
hang
let's
out with
move
your boo.
on. Let's move on to your next obsession, J Lo.
Okay.
What's up?
All right, please. We're gonna cover my. Well, you know what? Before I go, well, okay, we'll
I think
do
you got the
J.
rest of
Oh,
the. I
you
think you
know
got the
what?
rest of them.
No, I didn't get Beyonce. Let me get Beyonce real quick because J Lo
Okay.
will
Yeah. Yeah.
segue to the next
Sure.
category. So
Gotcha.
Beyonce officially announces her new album coming out, which is Act Two: The Renaissance. It's Cowboy
Yo, pause.
Carter.
Pause real quick. Pause real quick. I'm not a pause recording. Could you back up a little bit? Like a little. Are you able to do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like like you're gonna be way bigger on camera than me.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
Yeah, just back up a little bit.
Yeah.
More, a little more, if that's okay. I
Sorry.
love
I
your
just try to
office.
keep
Looks
close
great.
to the to the to the mouse.
Oh, that too. Okay, you're good then. You're good then. All right, don't worry. We'll do it next show. We'll like mess around, make sure that we're both. Okay, keep going. I'll edit this out.
All right. So officially upcoming next, Beyonce officially announces a new album titled Act Two, Cowboy Carter, and she shared some alternate artwork for it. So Beyonce is having that country music takeover, and we're gonna explore that renaissance of Black country music artists finally getting their
Yeah.
shine. Just a quick shout out to Raina Roberts and Tanner Adele, my faves, are getting some shine. But yeah, people are excited. There was some controversy when she released Texas Hold'em. But people,
Racism.
yeah. So it was an undeniable force. She reached #1, rightfully so, because that song was fire. Everybody was on TikTok doing all these fucking dances, Hold'em. All the thirst traps were out there. I watched those videos. They were very lovely to view. We appreciate them. And cowboy hats, her fucking, even from her Renaissance tour, she had cowboy hats skyrocketing in sales. So Beyonce is the undeniable force, and I'm here for it. I think this round I'm gonna go see this. I'm gonna go see her in tour for this. I got to
Oh,
see
let me
this
know,
country
Robert,
vibe.
because I missed it last time, and I love seeing her live. I've seen her multiple
Okay.
times.
Oh, we're gonna have to do
Oh,
that. We'll expense that out.
yeah, we're yeah, I like that. The
Okay.
tactic. I love
Yep.
it.
All right.
I've
So
seen her. I've seen her front row. I've seen her from outer space, and it's just as good. Like that's how great she is. You could see her from the parking lot, and she's still really, really dope. Like she's that, and she cares about her performance. It's high quality. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
I love her.
And quick thing, when I the last time, and I'm not gonna name the person. I don't want to get into a fight with her, but the last time I went by myself, like I said, I was on the floor of that City Field. It was 350. It was that shit was awesome. I don't know what, I forgot what that song was, where it's like kind of like a baptism. It was like on like Lemonade, I think. The water splashed on my face, and I was like, I'm never gonna wash my face ever again, ever again. Sorry, Hove,
Jesus.
sorry. And so one of my friends on this tour, I really wanted to go Renaissance. Why not? Like the album is classic. That should have won album of the year, to be honest. Taylor, my bad. You should have. Renaissance
Oh,
definitely
she's the
should.
problem. It's her.
I know. Don't get me wrong. Midnight's is a fire album, great album. It's just not better than Renaissance. Sorry, like she got snubbed again. Hove, I agree with you on that one. But one of my friends was like, "Do you want to see her?" And I said, "Yeah." And the seats were like nosebleed central, and they were $500. And I was like, Man, I should have hopped on this quicker because I don't want to pay more to be in a worse seat than I was last time. And she's like, "Come on, I thought you were a fan." And I'm like, "I guess not. I guess we learned today." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna pay more." I was on the floor for 350, and you're gonna have me all the way up here for $500. I was like, "Nah." And plus, my budget for tickets, because I go to so many shows, if it's a top tier artist, the most I will pay is 350. I might do a little bit after taxes, but that's it because I'm not
That's
super rich.
fair. That's more than
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
You're better
yeah. You're
than
right.
me. I don't mind nosebleeds. I've seen Beyonce. I
Oh, I
missed
would
a
do it
trip
though.
to
It's not
Florida to
500.
see her. I saw
It's
her
not
in
five
Destiny's
hundred.
Child. That was
Ooh, I never
one
saw
of my
Destiny's
first
Child.
tours. I saw
Oh,
the
that's
Destiny
sick.
Fulfilled tour. That was
Oh,
amazing.
that's
Um,
fire.
yes.
Oh,
So I'm a
you
huge
might be able
Destiny
to tell your
Child
kids that
fan.
one. That's dope.
Okay. I
That's your
love them.
supreme
Shout
story.
out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly and Michelle. Shout out to
Yeah, they
Latoya and
doing it.
Tavia. Um,
Oh,
and to you too,
Latavia, that's right. She was
Solange.
on Greenleaf.
Okay, but yes, and I seen her when she did her Carter World Tour with her husband. I saw that over there at the
See
Prudential
that run the.
Center.
That's the only one I didn't see. I've seen them both separate, but I've never
Okay.
seen on the run.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. That was great. She
Dope.
always puts her whole fucking foot into it. She's awesome. Yeah, she's an undeniable force. I
Continue.
definitely I love the woman. And
That's my
yeah,
story.
I'll segue right off to the next topic if you're ready.
Yeah. Do you think? Actually, you call the next topic. My bad. I don't want to mess you up.
Oh no, I was gonna just talk about the lovely lady, my tia, my prima, my lady,
Oh, J Lo.
inspiration. Jennifer Lopez, J to the L-O.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Auntia.
Yes,
Titi.
yes. Titi, we love you. How you doing? So her
I'm doing well,
movie,
Robert. I'm doing so well.
oh, I could
I'm
tell you
doing
looking
real
beautiful.
good.
Okay. This is me now. It reached the top of Amazon. Okay. It was the number one album on iTunes when it was released. So yep, it was called This Is Me Now. If you couldn't tell from my vocal, we are all entertainers and performers when we Puerto Rican, us Latinos.
True, true, true. Rita Romero over
So
here. Robert Moreno.
we do it all. And yeah, so just want to say really quickly, like the album, I think it was definitely one of her best. I'm a big fan of J Lo's. I have all her albums, so I did love This Is Me then. But I do have a special place in my heart for This Is Me Now, especially with the visuals tied in. The musical, as she calls it, the musical film that's attached to it. I thought it was gorgeous. I think it's the best thing she's done in years, and you could tell she really put her heart into it. The story's beautiful. It's just a whole lot of fun. It's the reason why we love J Lo. Most people first fell in love with her in Selena, seeing her on the stage and doing her thing. And
That's
I
an
think
Oscar
this
sub.
captivates, yeah,
She should
this
have got nominated for
captivates
that.
everything we love about J Lo: the beauty, the glamour, the
Aw.
drama, the dance, the celebration of life. I think people take a step back, and she's relatable in a lot of ways. Where it's like there's some certain elements about her that's unattainable, but still like people resonate. I think she resonates with people, just like that real like, I want to fall in love finally. I want it to fucking happen. And I think like my cousin, she watched this and she was like, I ugly cried watching certain parts.
Nothing worse than an ugly cry.
Right. Not or you can't cry pretty like Carrie
True,
Underwood says. So
true.
so I just want to say shout out to the tia, to the prima, yo. You holding it down
Shout
for the
out,
Latinos.
shout out to Carrie Underwood. She was doing an ugly cry for a little while after that accident, but now she's back to the pretty cry. She's back to the pretty cry.
Oh my God, do not come for her. That is my woman. My friend Bridget Unger took me to see her in concert, and this is when I drank, and I drank too much before the show even started, and I literally
Also, you
fell
had
into
you
the.
had the beer goggles. You had the beer goggles with Carrie.
No, I fell into the row in front of me, right? I fell into the row
Oh
in front of
shit.
me, got up, and I literally went onto Bridget's shoulder, and I fell asleep for the entire concert.
Oh
So I missed
no.
Carrie Underwood. So
Oh, no
sorry,
wonder you
Bridget, but I
feel
love
no
you.
wonder you feel a certain type of way about that. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a
but I
lot.
do love you, Bridget, and I love you, Carrie Underwood. So I do want to go see that.
Well, let's move
So
J Lo. Let's go back. Let's go a little younger and a lot skinnier,
oh,
which I didn't think that would be possible. She looked a little sick at the Oscars. Ariana Grande, Eternal Sunshine. I listened to it too. It's really good.
do not come for Ariana Grande. She looks gorgeous. She sounds gorgeous. I think this is the
Yeah,
most.
so does my arm. So does my arm, which weighs more than her
No,
now.
we're not gonna skinny shame. You know, a lot of people are going through a lot of things. You know,
Right. I do think she's going through it.
she's going through. You know what? We don't know. I feel
Yeah, she's
like
going through divorce. I'm not trying to come at her. Dude,
yeah,
like,
it's a really rough time. You know, I've watched women in my life like get to a point where they look different than what we recognize them, or where they maybe don't seem healthy or whatever, and people comment, and it's a it's a brutal thing. It's a fucking brutal thing going through a lot of changes, especially in front of the camera, where
I
you
agree.
you have to look at yourself and you start picking yourself apart. And there's a lot of reasons why people pick apart their face in Hollywood and get all this filler and
Yeah.
all that and nose jobs and facelifts and all this shit
Kanye
because
West blames us for his lipo. I mean, that happens.
right. Hey, but I think overall, you know, focusing on the music, I think it's the best music of her career. I actually
Wow.
listened, yeah, I listened to this album and I was able to, I like the Thank You Next album. I actually did not even know that there was an album in between Thank You Next and this, so I don't know where the hell I was.
Yeah, there was. It was
But
good. It was all
the
right.
position,
But
I
Thank You
missed
Next,
that.
I think, is still better than these last two albums.
No, this new one, oh my God. And
What
then not
song?
even.
What song on this album competes with NASA?
Oh, I love We Can't Be Friends. We Can't Be
No,
Friends.
no, that's a great song. A lot more
It's
ballads on
actually
this song
supposed
too.
to
On this album.
it's expected to debut at #1 next week when the charts come out.
Robert, which is these are good accolades, especially in the time where are downloading and we're pirating more than ever. But come on, man. We just talked about industry plants before. The best music doesn't always get the best record sales. But Ariana Grande is great. But when you get established, when you say, oh, they went #1 and stuff like that, dude, DMX went #1 like 5 straight times, and he only has 3 good albums. Like, dude, once you establish yourself,
No, I think,
these guys will continue to buy your music. So it's kind of like when you say number
but you
one,
know, it's a competitive time
it still
again. It
is.
is. Before,
It
you know, for a
doesn't, but
while,
I'm saying
music
it
was
doesn't
bleh.
translate always that like it's good. It just means they have a lot of faithful fan
It
base.
doesn't, but it's good to. I use it to support the fact that I do honestly believe it's some of her best work. It's. I feel like she really. You can't beat the producer Max Martin. He's made so many fucking hits.
You're right.
Hit me, baby,
Yes,
one more time. If he's producing your entire freaking
he's been doing it for
album,
a long time. He's been doing it for a long
if
time.
Max Martin is producing your entire album, more than likely all of those songs are gonna sound like hits. And that's
Well,
what I think is there.
you heard that
With
fact that the last 20 years, there's only been 7 major songwriters that like have covered, like you just said, like all the pop hits and stuff like that. Only seven. Only seven. So
yeah.
all the thousands of songs we've been hearing over the last 2 decades are literally 7 songwriters. That's nuts.
And Max Martin, Diane Warren, those are some of my faves.
Love
You
Diane
know,
Warren. Good name drop. Good
okay.
name drop. All
You
right,
know,
I agree. I agree. It's a great album. I don't agree that it's better than Thank You Next, but I do think it's
I
a
would
solid
just
album.
say, everyone, check out her song, Don't Want to Break Up Again. True story. The boy is mine. We Can't Be Friends. We Can't Be Friends is going to debut #1 next week. It's
I don't doubt
after,
that.
and yes, and debuted #1 also. So she's, I
She's one of
think,
the
the first
best.
person to just go out with those debut breakout singles. That's awesome. Well, I think Megan
And I think it's
debuted
going to get
#1
nominated
with
too.
hers.
I think it's definitely going to be one of that. It's early. It's definitely early. It could be supplanted, of course, but I think early Grammy nominations. I think she's going to be up there. And I do think Beyonce's. I haven't heard her album yet, but it's going to be a strong year for music. We'll talk about that later on another show. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of new albums coming out, including a couple of versions of Kanye's album Vultures. So, no, I agree with you. Ariana Grande is the
You go,
shit.
Ariana Grande. You go, Ariana
He is,
Grande.
and I'm looking forward to Wicked too. I remember you were fanboying over, and you rightfully so, by the way. Cynthia Erivo is chef's kiss. Like there, she's flawless.
She sang
Um,
Alfie.
yeah, no,
What's
she's
it all
incredible.
about, Alfie?
I've seen her on HBO in the detective series. I've seen her on Luther recently. I've seen her in Wicked. She's going to be in the theater version. I've seen
She
her as
played
Harriet Tubman, where
Aretha.
she got Aretha. Yeah, she got nominated for Harriet Tubman. She's a gem. She's a gem.
Can't
Get all the
wait.
praise over here.
All right.
We're big fan of
Well,
Cynthia over here.
Cynthia, we love
Come on the
you.
show.
She looked beautiful at the Oscars too. I thought her and Ariana
She
both
did.
looked gorgeous.
She's like the
Ariana,
only one since Whoopi Goldberg that can get away with having no eyebrows. Like, not many people can pull off that look.
huh? All
He said,
right. I had to
Robert's
think
gonna be
about
like
that
this.
one.
Should I paint my eyebrow?
I'm like, I could pull it off.
I can feel it. He gonna be the
No,
Puerto Rican Mr. Clean. He was like,
okay, no, Cynthia Erivo, I love you. Ariana, I think she's. I think this album she showed a lot of maturity. I think it's just she made songs that I think you can
it
feel,
was more
especially.
mature.
I love it. It was no
And
bullshit, like just all like it didn't feel like a
well, she
sexed up. Like a lot of albums these days feel like sexed up, horny bullshit, just for the
she was
clubs
doing
and that's
early.
it.
What she was doing,
Um,
and also you're probably not gonna agree with me on this, but a lot of people called her out in the beginning because I only found out later she was Italian. She really put on the toner. She put on the tan a lot, and I don't think she'll admit this, but I think she was trying to cater to the black audience, and I think she wanted to be a little bit more ambiguous because she has no Latin in her whatsoever, and she was
I
more R
thought
and
she
B
was
based.
Latina when she came out. I was like, yes, a Latina,
Right,
yes.
Ariana Grande, she's 100% Italian American.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
I thought I was so excited to think.
That
I
was a
was like,
marketing thing. That was
wow,
smart. That was smart. That was a marketing ploy. It was smart. They
and
got
it's
you.
just in
It got you. It
time.
wasn't the main thing, but it got you. It was one of the things.
Yeah, and it's just in time. I think she dropped all that like black fishing kind of like look right at the right time. So smart crew, smart woman. I think she speaks so
Agreed.
well. I love her in interviews. So I'm looking forward
It's
to
gonna be a
more from
big.
her.
It's gonna be a big year for her. Like we said, Wicked. She's gonna be Glinda, the Good Witch. Like it's gonna be a great mix.
Galinda.
Oh, Galinda, Galinda,
Galinda.
Galinda.
Read the
Thank you for the
book. It's great.
pronunciation. I did read the book actually. I didn't
Oh,
know
see,
that there
that's why
was.
it's
I didn't
Galinda.
know there was extra vowels still.
They put a G. It's GA.
I believe you. I believe you. I read it a long time ago. I saw the play. I still didn't realize that. But all good. I sit corrected. Let's move on. Right? That was the last one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Let's go on. What the fuck did I watch? All right, I'm gonna have to start putting we in our new segments. And let's start this off with Scream 7. We'll go like real quick, not real quick. We'll give you like a quick little intro. Robert has a lot to say on this too. It's great, actually, all of them. Actually, all of them. So Nev Campbell, classic. She is the I guess the modern Scream Queen. That was Jamie Lee Curtis. She passed it down the slasher movies to Nev Campbell, and they kind of did her dirty after five. Like after five, they didn't want to pay her the way that like unfortunately men are paid for franchises, horror movies, and she wasn't up there and she had not single-handedly like Wes Craven. There's a lot of good people. Courtney Cox, a lot of good celebrities. Drew Barrymore in the beginning in the first one, even though, but that was a big
Jada
deal though.
Pinkett.
No, she was a. That's right. That was a great scene, even when they made fun of it in a scary movie. Shakespeare in Love. No,
Right.
icon. Especially when you get parody, that's when you know you made it. Like it's a pop culture. Like even if they come out with like three straight bad ones, like Scream is just a staple.
There is
So
no bad Scream movies.
yo, Robert, you're hilarious. So there's no bad at anything, Vince. Everybody
No
that I'm a fan
Scream
of.
movies. There's a lot of bad things that we will
We
discuss
talked
when
about
we
this
do.
before. I think 3 and 5 were pretty bad, and I don't think the one with Emma Roberts was that good either, to be honest.
You have to watch them again through a different
I
lens. Now
have.
that
I'm
you
a
have
fan.
time separated, because three in particular, it used to not be one of my favorites, but now I enjoy the campiness. Like Parker Posey in that role, that's fucking epic. It's fucking epic. Oh my god! And then what's her? I can't believe I'm blanking on her name, but from Star Wars, who played Princess Leia, she made an appearance in it. In part three, yeah,
Oh
and they're
yeah, she
like.
did. My man, my Carrie Fisher, my homegirl.
Yes. So, it just had
Liz
some
Schreiber
great
was a
moments.
good bad guy in the end, but like it just wasn't that good of a
Well,
movie. It
Liv
just was.
Schreiber, he
And the
gets it
fact
in
that
the
you said
first one.
campy, the fact that you said campy, that's why a lot of times they dub Scream as a comedy because sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes they go too campy and they make a campy within their own movie, and it's like, hold up, now are
Well,
you trying to be a horror movie? Or are you trying to make fun of yourself?
And the answer to that is yes. But part three in particular, you know, it had a lot of issues because it came out right during Columbine. So
It
there was a
did.
lot of twists and turns that were
That's a good
supposed to
fact.
happen in part three that they had to change
That's a
in
good
order to
fact.
like just you know, let it go by and people not give them shit for it.
So
And
they
Nev
went
Campbell
younger.
wasn't as available for that one, so that's why she's not
No,
in a
she
lot of
she
the scenes with.
protested. She said, "You not fuck you, pay me," and she deserved it.
Yeah,
Like, so I was with her, even though I was like a fake supporter because I still went to go see the next one that was in New York. So Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega is not arguably she's not hotter. I didn't mean like look wise, but as far as industry is concerned, she's hotter than Nev Campbell at the moment. So that's a big deal. And so Jenna Ortega, they say in solidarity. I don't know what to believe, but Melissa Barrera got kicked off because of her views for Palestine. Which, depending on what project you're working on, sometimes are like you should be standing up for Israel. There's some companies that are like you should be standing up for Palestine. So she was just caught in the crossfire at the wrong time. And then Jenna Ortega, Robert believes that she was in solidarity for that one. In the news, it said that, or her PR people or her spokesperson said it was just a scheduling conflict. I actually pulled out before Melissa was canned. And then even the director, I guess, was upset about all the commotion. And so now Neb Campbell is back. They are paying her correctly. And they brought one of the original screenwriters of the first one, Kevin Williamson, from like you said, Dawson's Creek, Buffy, like he's huge. The
the
faculty. He's
creator, not Buffy, but he wrote Scream. He created the Scream
I
films.
just said the screenplay. I said he was one of the screenwriters.
Yeah, well, no, he's the actual, not just the screenwriter, he's the creator of it. And he didn't do
Yes,
any
he.
Buffy, just for the record. That's my man, Joss Whedon. You
What?
know,
Oh, Josh. Oh,
problematic,
that's right. I get that confused because, like, yeah, they kicked him off the Marvel project. And you're right. I do get them
problematic,
confused.
both problematic.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why. Sorry, sorry, white guys. I get you. I'm problematic. I think you guys are all the same sometimes. My bad. But anyway, Robert, give me your thoughts. I know you got a lot of them on this.
Okay, I love Scream is one of the biggest influences on me as a filmmaker and as an actor. It really made me want to get into the industry because
Okay, I'm
I
with
was
it.
obsessed with
Gold
fucking
Mirror
Scream.
Max. I'm
I
with it.
I hand wrote the scripts to Scream 1 and 2, just watching them on VHS, rewinding and writing them down. So
That's
I'm
sick.
one of those annoying
A little
people who
autistic,
knows
but very
all
cool.
the lines. You know, I know all of them. I love Scream. And I'm excited to see Nev Campbell back. Nev Campbell is she's a great talent. I loved her in Scream. I loved her in The Craft. Those are probably my favorite
Love the
um
craft.
those are
Wild
my
Things.
favorite
Don't forget
projects
about
for her.
Wild Things. Sorry, you
I
gotta. I
did.
know
I
that
saw Wild Things because of you know, Nev
Academy
Campbell. I
Award
will admit.
performance. Academy Award.
Yeah. Yes. So I love her. I think she's great, and I think yeah, she is the scream queen that we want to see on the screen when we see Scream. Okay, a lot of S's there. So yeah, glad to have her back. I think there is something to be done with her story. You know, she was married to Patrick Dempsey's character. Well, we believe off camera she got married to Patrick. Well, yeah, yeah. In Scream 5, 6, they kind of allude to she's
Oh yeah,
married
they're
to
still
Patrick
married.
Dempsey's character. They have kids.
Dreamy.
You know, you see her pushing a carriage. So yeah, I believe in this one. I feel like we're gonna finally get that when a stranger calls homage where it's like, have you checked
Ooh,
the children? I think it's gonna go back to like the movies because the last one was a clear departure from anything to do with the movies being anything a
yeah, that
part of
was
like the
that was
plots.
weird. That being New York, that was weird.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the beginning, they're like, who gives a fuck about the movies? You know, so this one I think will go back to form and I cannot wait. I wish there was a way to bring back Dewey, you know, I wish he
Spoiler
was
alert!
coming. David
Spoiler alert! Not
Arquette.
joking.
Yeah,
Get
I
with
wish
it,
David
guys. Get with it.
Arquette.
Keep up.
Yeah, better watch these. These are my fucking films. But yeah, there's nothing you can't tell me nothing about the Scream franchise. I think all of the
I'm
films
with
are
you.
excellent. I'm here for them and yeah, I'm ready.
There's no bias with Robert. I know what you did last summer. I avoided the Amazon Prime show, and luckily I did. It got canceled very quickly. A lot of people that I know who enjoy this the franchise, the IP of Scream, thought it was or not even Scream, but like that whole Wes Craven lineup. They said it was a big departure from the movie. I'm a huge fan of the movie. I was a big fan of that whole slasher '90s thing
That
into
was
the early
Kevin
2000s.
Williamson again.
Yes, he's the man. He's the man. You're right. You're right. You corrected me, and thank you. I don't like carrying disinformation. I'm with you on that. But they've been toying around with the sequel for a long time. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ryan Phillippe, Sarah Michelle Gellar, her husband, her future husband, Freddie Prinze Jr. I thought it was amazing. Even the second one had Mekhi Phifer and
Brandy.
Brandy. Yeah, Brandy. Jack Black, he was the stoner Rastafarian white guy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was a great movie. So I'm excited. We probably don't need it. I would say it's something we didn't ask for, but we did. I've seen many fan forums saying they want another one. So it's
Yeah.
definitely was asked for. Do we need it? Probably not. It's probably going to ruin it, but I'm still here for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I loved, after Scream, I was just obsessed. I went into a rabbit hole of like, I got into Halloween because I found out that Halloween and When a Stranger Calls really influenced Scream. So I did a deep dive. I watched all the Halloween films. I owned them on VHS as I got When a Stranger Calls. So I was definitely right there when I Know What You Did Last Summer released a few months later, based off like the how hot Scream performed. And I was here for I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I even bought the bootleg I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm a big fan. So I'm excited to see them back. I really do hope they figure out a way to bring Carla back. Brandy's character. I'm like, if you're gonna bring them back, she survived. There's not a lot of
Good.
black final
Nice
girls.
roundhouse kick too. Nice roundhouse kick.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
What?
That was Tybo
My
well worth it.
God. My God, now I think of Busta Rhymes roundhouse to Michael Myers and Halloween Resurrection. Oh my God.
I mean, he got back into shape recently, but I doubt he can do a round count. It would be like a Steven Seagal like roundhouse at this
But do
point.
you remember that? He roundhouse fucking
I do.
Michael
He was
Myers.
one of the first ones that survived in those movies, man. LL Cool J, rappers was the remedy to that. They were like, "Yo, rap is number one right now. We can't be killing y'all off no more." That was the way. That was the way
And
to
they
stop
couldn't get
killing.
LL back, so they went with Busta. So that was
I
interesting.
know. You only get me for
Um,
one. You only get me for one, guys. I'm back
and
on the
they got
deep
the
blue sea. He even survived
um,
that one. That was crazy. Not Samuel L. Sorry, Sam. Sorry, Sam. Sam was like, yo, I'm the veteran in this bitch.
and Tyra
LL.
Banks
Who
got
knows?
canceled on that.
She did. She did. Oh well. But so you are gonna watch the new and the third one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it. They need to bring back Brandy.
Do they
I
have
wish if they're gonna reboot stuff and all this crap, I think they should just figure out a way to bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back. Just bring her back. I don't give a fuck what they got to say to just justify it. She had a long lost sister. This is her cousin who looks vaguely
oh,
like
so
her.
what they did with Wednesday.
Whatever.
So kind of like what they did with Wednesday, where they had my homegirl, wow, how did I forget her name?
Christina
She's the best.
Ricci.
Yeah, where they had her as like one of the teachers. That was okay. Okay, I can
Whatever.
see it.
I think it's supposed to be an actual sequel, like at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
the
yeah.
first one and possibly the second one happened. But I
Well,
do
some of them are
want
close to being grandparents, so I don't know. Like we'll see. Like
Sarah Michelle Gellar looks fabulous. Jennifer
they
Love Hewitt
do. I'm
looks
just saying
great.
their kids are older
Um,
now. Like Ryan Phillippe
yeah.
has a kid that can have kids. That's what I'm saying. Like they're old.
I don't need Ryan Phillippe back. He died. He
He
died
did. He
very
did.
appropriately there. He was not a nice guy. He fucking held Jennifer Love Hewitt to the car and was like, "You shut the fuck up about this." So, we don't need to see him back. He is an
Robert
asshole.
is canceled. Robert is canceled. Speaking of canceled, we have not the show. The show didn't get canceled. Thankfully, it comes out today, I think, or yesterday on Disney Plus.
Friday? Or is
X
it the
Men
12th?
'97. X Men
Yeah.
'97. Creator Bo DeMayo. He's also a showrunner for
DeMaio.
Moon Knight. It's called DeMayo. Oh, there you go. Bo DeMayo. Yeah, some white people call themselves DeMayo. My bad. I was shocked by this, but you have more info on this. Please lead the way.
Oh, well, all I heard about it was that, it was between conflicts with the studios, and then people started throwing in some things about he had a OnlyFans, and people were like, oh no, it was just um a non-explicit OnlyFans. So I don't know. I just think overall there's not like I was looking on Twitter and seeing what the response is, and someone made a good point. They're like, we need a campaign and bring him back. He's like, you people will fight
I'm
for
with it.
Zack
I'm with that
Snyder or
movement.
whatever, or James Gunn, but a black, queer artist, nobody's giving a fuck. So we need to figure it out. It was I feel just blown away. I didn't even have any anticipation that this would happen. I think nobody saw this coming. So I'm just still sitting with it. I went on Twitter and was seeing what people were saying. And one person put it really nicely. They're like, people got behind a lot of other,
Right.
white male filmmakers, and they,
James Gunn, like you said.
right. And
Who's the
and they
other one
were
you
just,
said? Who's the other one that like they brought back? It was James Gunn. There was another one that like got canceled, and they were like, bring him back.
oh, I don't know. I can't think of anyone right now, but
Oh, you said two. Oh, you said two last time. My bad. You said James Gunn and someone else. My bad. Keep going.
okay. There that's what, the person on Twitter was saying, "Oh, James Gunn, you guys brought him back and he was problematic, but now, this black queer artist is getting canceled and nobody's standing by him." And he allegedly only had a non-explicit, a non, OnlyFans. So, and there's people like John Cena. So maybe he just launched an OnlyFans, right? And he's with DC. So maybe Bo DeMaio has a future with Warner Brothers in DC. Maybe they don't give a fuck as much as Disney. And we'll see how great the new X-Men 97 season is. I'm gonna binge that sucker probably in the next 2 days and get through that. But we'll see if they're missing anything. It's always sad to see anybody just get fired off of something that they were just like, it was their baby. And he really always spoke so highly and like with so much joy whenever I watch any interviews of him at the Comic Cons, just like about how excited he was about it. So it's sad. You could call me Bo. I'll be a shoulder for you to lean on, mister.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Bo. It's an interesting shoulder to lean on. So like I'm trying to sell you on it. You got this. You got this, Bo.
Thank you.
Only until you get the new job. And no, you're right. DC's owned by Warner Brothers. They're more dark. They don't, but also they're not as successful in that realm. Of course, Warner Brothers is successful. Of course, DC Comics is successful, but they didn't do the MC. They didn't do well against the MCU. Like movie wise, just like tentpole and all that kind of stuff. They handle their business. But when it comes to
Barbie.
yeah, but when it comes, oh, well, that's Warner Brothers, but yes, but that's
Yeah.
not part of the Gotham IP. That's not what I was talking
No,
about. But
no.
I
Yeah.
hear you.
No, I was saying, like you said, Warner Brothers does their good blockbusters, just their comic book universes.
Well, I was talking about their superhero temples. I get you though.
Yeah.
Their superhero temples. Their DC temples. They do okay. They do, especially Batman. Batman pretty much never fails. But Marvel, that was genius by Kevin Feige, the way that he did those 20 plus movies, and they made like each of almost a billion each. That couldn't be replicated by DC. So that's what I'm trying to say. So they, in my opinion, have more room to take risks because they just don't have anything in their universe, the DCU, where it's like they haven't really established anything yet. So like James Gunn is like pretty much in the infant stages. Hey, is that hold up? Which one is that? Is that Drake or is that which Robin is
Damian
that? Oh,
Wayne.
hey, that's Titans one. That's the Teen Titan Robin, right?
Damian Wayne.
That's
No, this is
right.
Batman's son. He's coming to the new Batman.
Okay, look at you bringing in some current stuff. I like that. But that's why I'm sad about this. The only way to be inclusive is to have the actual community there. And so this is a big thing about this new show. That's why another reason why I'm sad is because he left his imprint. You don't always have to bleed who you are into your work, but a lot of us do. And so, of course, conservatives have been like, "Oh, there's a trans person in X-Men now. There's an ambiguous." They have what's his name, the guy that transforms and stuff. Like he's like
Morph.
non-binary or something like that. Yeah, Morph, but he
Oh,
wasn't
Morph.
like that in the beginning. Yeah, but on this one, they like kind of make it a point that like he's like non-gender conforming. And that's modern. That's modern. So like I said, like when you have the same old people writing or the same old people in the showrunner, they're not going to include those things. So that was the way. And I think that's a huge part of the ethos of Marvel anyway. Spike Lee has gone on record many times that he was inspired by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in the civil rights movement, and that Professor Charles Xavier is pretty much Martin Luther King, and Magneto is Malcolm X,
Stanley. Yeah.
which is a little problematic. Which is a little problematic, to be honest. I appreciate the inspiration, but Magneto be doing some terrorist type shit, and Malcolm X, even though he was part of the Nation of Islam, he was not a terrorist. So, no, I agree with pretty much all your thoughts on that, and I just wanted to
Yeah.
add a little bit.
Yeah. And yeah,
All
Kevin
right.
Feige, he's a
Okay.
mastermind. So yeah, there should be some
All
more
right.
good
For
stuff
our last
coming.
Oh, I agree. I agree. He's gonna get picked up real quick. If he got kicked off the whole Marvel, the whole Disney, like I don't know if he got kicked off just that project or whatever. Because you're right, it was weird. It's about to do the red carpet stuff. He's very vocal. He's a great cheerleader for the company. So if they get rid of him entirely, he's not going to be on the free agent market very long because he's super talented. Super talented. All right. Oscars 2024. I'm glad that we're talking about it here, and we got a double one because Angela Bassett, who got snubbed a few years ago, she got her Lifetime Achievement Award. She lost to who'd she lose to? She lost to
Jamie Lee Curtis last year.
ah great film. I totally think it deserved Best Picture, but I was very upset that the daughter, Stephanie Sue, did not get nominated, and Jamie Lee Curtis got nominated. And the way that I say it is disrespectful because I do think Jamie Lee Curtis is not just a screen queen. I think she's developed over the last 40 years into an amazing actress. I loved her in True Lies. She's a good actress. She's a good actor. But in my opinion, and that's all they are. All snubs are subjective. They all are how you feel about the actor, how you feel about the performance. Everybody feels different. I'm not in the academy, so whatever. So she said she was disappointed over that, and that's what bleeds over into this. I was disappointed with Lily Gladstone, but now that I'm reflecting on it, somebody made a good point that I was reading because a lot of people were disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I'll admit it. It was a little bit more symbolism. Not that Lily Gladstone's a great actor, but when she lost against Emma Stone, it makes more sense now because when I saw Poor Things, Emma Stone got a lot more screen time than Lily Gladstone, which was a complaint about other people about Lily Gladstone's performance. So somebody said, no offense, but she should have got nominated for supporting and she would have won because she wasn't really a supporting actor in the movie. Like in the movie, it was 3.5 hours long. And not that she was barely in it, but she was nowhere near where Robert De Niro and Leo were in it. So kind of like technically line wise, screen time wise, she technically was a supporting character, but I'm not trying to make excuses. I still think she deserved it. But I don't want to take away from Emma Stone. I saw Poor Things. And I didn't think she deserved for La La Land, but she delivered. And not just because she was having sex throughout the whole movie. She was fire. That was an acting like class. She was really good at Poor Things, in my opinion. So I wasn't too mad. I wasn't too mad. Like I got over the symbolism stuff. We all knew Oppenheimer was gonna win. We kind of got surprised that Poor Things got a lot more awards than and that people anticipated. Barbie, I think, got shut out except for music. Shout out to Billie Eilish. She got her set. She's the youngest to win 2 Oscars. She got one for James Bond. She's amazing. She's very talented. A lot of good wins. DeJoy Randolph from Holdovers. That was one of my favorites. Cillian Murphy, shout out to him. He's been doing it for such a long time. He was a former Scarecrow. He's come a long way. Peaky Blinders. We all know Robert De Niro is going to win. My sleeper was Sterling K. Brown from American Fiction, which won adapted screenplay. As you can tell, I'm obsessed with the awards. Best director, we all knew Christopher Nolan was finally going to get his flowers. He's been around for a long time. In my opinion, the best Batman franchise of all time, even though I love Returns the best. But I think the best franchise of it is his. The whole set for that. A lot of people can debate that. That's fine. What else was some really good ones? International film was A Zone of Interest. That was the one where they had the Nazi camp. Oh, did it die again? Robert, no redying? Oh no, you're good. It just froze. Where they had the Auschwitz camp right next door. It won also for sound because that's wild. That's wild. Like you have a family just living right there where all these atrocities are happening. A controversy because he's a Jewish director and he was pro-Palestine. That was a lot of controversy with that actually because a lot of Jewish people were like, "What about the hostages?" So people were wearing pins. Rami Youssef, who is on the hit show Rami, he was also in Poor Things. He's one of the people that started this movement. He's also, I think he's Egyptian. I was about to say he's Palestinian, but I don't think he is. I think he's Egyptian. He's from Queens. No, so you're not gonna hear too many bad. I thought Jimmy Kimmel's great, but I'm also a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I'm not a Trump fan, so I love the fact that he had that extra time and he put out that Truth Social tweet, trying to doing the old man thing, complaining about like Jimmy Kimmel's performance, which was better than a lot of other hosts. I'm a big Chris Rock fan. I think he's the best host of all time. But yeah, did you get to watch the Oscars? Were you rooting for any films? Did you get to catch any of them?
Yeah, I did watch most of the Oscars, and I did get I loved seeing Becky G performing. That's my girl. I like Billie Eilish's
She's great.
performance too. I got to see
Really
you
good.
know, just Ken. That was fun. So those, the performances stood out. Oh, the most hilarious thing, speaking of Batman, was twins, Adam what was it, Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger and Danny
Schwarzenegger, Danny
DeVito coming
DeVito.
out, and they were talking shit to Michael Keaton there. I thought that was so great. So those are the moments I live for at the Oscars. Like you said, most everything else is just subjective. Like most of the time, there's always at least three. Most of the people are rightfully so nominated. I didn't feel like there was a lot of major snubs this year that stood out, at least to me. Um, so yeah, there was I when it comes to Poor Things, at least that you touched on, I did see that film, and I will say, looking at that from a standpoint of being an actor, they really asked Emma Stone to do a lot. It was a big challenge for anybody to step into that role. So kudos to her. I agree. I don't honestly even remember La La Land. I don't even know if I ever got to finally to even actually see it because it didn't appeal to me. It was an all white film. It looked like, as far,
And the
and I was
winner
like,
is
oh,
Moonlight.
I didn't need to see that. So but this I did see and I enjoyed it. I thought she did a great job with it. It was very explicit. I watched it with my mom. My mom was like, "What the hell is going on?" She said she thought this film deserved nothing. She said, "Give this
Damn,
film
Lulu,
nothing."
back to TikTok. Back to TikTok.
Yeah, she's over it. She's like, they should give Poor Things nothing. So it was. I thought
Filth.
that
This filth.
this filth.
This smut.
Yeah, so she was very disappointed with Mark Ruffalo. That's her man. She was like, "How could he do that? That's
He
her
was good
man."
in it. He was very good in it.
She didn't
He's a
appreciate him as
Searchlight legend.
Chad. Yeah. So I
Great,
thought
great.
everybody did a good job, and I thought it looked beautiful. The cinematography. I think they had great special effects. I was so shocked to see what the film was actually about because I went in knowing almost nothing, and I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this is interesting." So yeah, I thought
Well, what do you
I did like.
think about? Go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to
I
interrupt
was
you. Go
gonna
ahead.
say I did love Barbie. Shout out to Nyad. I watched that. That was very inspirational. If
Oh,
anybody's
Naya was
looking for a
very good.
movie that's like, oh, give me a pep in my step to feel like I could do anything, watch Nyad. I fell asleep a little bit, but then I woke up by the end. So do that.
What? What? She's in
Do that.
Florida? Where's she? Where's she? Still in Cuba? For those that don't
Right.
know, Nayad, there was a swimmer that went from she tried to go to the world record. Guinness shut her out. It was kind of weird, but with those type of things, you got to have all your ducks in a row. Jodie Foster and Annette Bening were phenomenal. Very good movie. She swam from by herself and a crew, like taping her and monitoring her and training her, and she got to Florida. But again, she never got to get the world, but she got very famous for it. She got very famous for it. It's a great story. A couple other snubs. We Margot Robbie, which I don't think it was a snub. I love Margot Robbie. It was a snub. As a matter of fact, I think Greta Lee was the one that got snubbed for Past Lives.
I
Right, I'm
heard
like
that.
Team Asia today, Asia Americans. The other one they said that got snubbed was Greta Gerwig. I don't think that was a snub either. She's been nominated twice before this. You can't get it all the time. You can't get it
You
all the
know,
time. And there's some,
sorry. I was just
and
gonna
I don't think
say,
she got nominated for Little Women. I don't think she should have got. So sometimes you get it, and sometimes, like Whoopi said, like we can't all say like what other people's tastes are. We can't tell them what to choose.
I love Fantasia, and she did The Color Purple, and The Color
Oh, that's a good
Purple,
snub. That's a good
The Color
snub worthy.
Purple The Color Purple was a fantastic film. I
And
wonder if
shout
it's
out to
gonna be
Daniel Brooks that won. Daniel Brooks
like
won.
The Color Purple looked gorgeous. It had some really
It was
beautiful
good.
cinematography. I can't believe that all we got was one nomination on there. That was really sad to see. I
Oh,
wonder
just
if it
Daniel
was,
Brooks, right?
yeah.
It's
And she did
hard.
a
It's hard with musicals. They gotta be like they gotta
what?
like
Why not La
Chicago. It's
La
hard.
Land? La La Land, white
Like you
excellence.
said,
Where the
all white.
fuck?
Like you said, all
That's
white.
what I'm
Like you
saying. That's
said,
the
Oscar's
issue
so
for
white.
me. And
Yeah, I feel you.
I just wonder if like, some of the cast speaking out how they were mistreated. kind of spoiled. You know, I heard some like
Ooh.
Grace
And
Randolph from Beyond the
Oprah got
Trailer.
our hands on everything.
Yeah, Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer. You know, she speculated that it's possible that some of that, you know, added some bad juju to the air, and people in the
I can see
academy were
that.
just like, you know, Daniel Brooks, they threw her bone because she was fantastic. She was like undeniable.
She
I thought she
is
did a great
Orange is the New
job as
Black. She's
Sophia.
amazing.
She sang,
Tasty.
she stole the show for me in The Color Purple. She was my favorite part. She sang beautifully. I was here for it. But Fantasia, I wish she got to do. I wish she would have got to perform. You know, I don't know. I was sad to not see her getting any love from
Music
the
was a big
acting
deal this
world.
year. And
And
Barbie had like 4 songs. Like, holy crap. And that was another Jack Black for Peaches on Super Mario Brothers. He should have got nominated. I don't understand why it didn't.
that was a big
Boy of the
song.
Heron. Boy of the Heron was a huge underdog against Spider-Verse Part 2. They had some huge heavy hitters, Elemental with Pixar. They had Nimona, which is very inclusive. They no spoilers out there, but they have a gay knight in it. They have Chloe Grace Moretz. She plays like this shape-shifting monster. It's really good. Yeah, I saw all the animation. Oh, and I didn't see Robot Games. That was another one. I heard that was really good. But no, I enjoyed the awards. Again, I do think I don't think that like the Academy should be the epitome of like where the standard should be. It should be looked at, and that way you can know where your taste lies. You think your standards are. I have no problem with people, glorifying their awards other places, but I also do think it's a good. It's also very important because it does get people to the theaters when they go Academy Award winner Nicole Kidman, Academy Award winner Spike Lee. Like it makes a big deal. It makes a big deal. And there's only a few people. Look at you with your Sailor Moon award. Hell yeah. And the award, well deserved, well deserved. Sailor Moon is
Thank
dope too. Happy anniversary to them. But yeah, that's all I got on this. That's all I got on it. Sorry to Angela Bassett. Sorry to everybody that's been snubbed. I love you guys.
Yeah, and the Academy, yeah, I think it's, you know, I've had this conversation with a lot of people in the biz where it's like, especially people of color, where it's like, you know, we really gotta just, it's hard to feel like you don't get recognized, so you really just don't want to ask for a seat at the table, and it's more like, okay, we just got to create our own seats at the table and make our own fucking table. You know, if we're gonna be snubbed continuously, then that's it. It's like what Tyler Perry's doing, where he has his own studios and he doesn't have to ask permission to make films. You know, he can bankroll himself if necessary, but you know, because he's paid his dues now, he's got deals with Netflix. So it's like you just gotta you gotta fucking stay busy. You gotta want this. When you go into the acting world, you don't do it for the accolades. You do it because this is what you're born to do, is what you love to do. It's just hard when people are telling you this is, you know, just stick with it because it'll be your season. Like, you know, like they told Monique, like, oh, just go do the tours because you just play and you'll eventually get it. Like they tell Taraji too, and it's rough hearing that over and over. I get it, but you just got to remember why you got into it. You got into it because this is what you love to do. It should never, anything to do with the arts should never have anything to do with money. You know, it really is not
Sure.
realistic. It's a privilege to make money off of doing this. It's a privilege.
And there's some haters out there. There's that British one, Charlotte something. She won an Academy Award a few years ago, and people brought up to her the Oscar's so white, and she said, "Wait your turn." She's a little tone deaf. And shout out to, I like the quote that you did. Happy international, no, not international. Happy Women's Month. You mentioned a quote from Shirley Chisholm. She said, "If we don't have a seat to the table, bring a folding chair." So no, I love that, and I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said. Are we ready to move on?
Let's do it.
As though, where the fuck did I go? All right, all right. I went to this highly recommended, highly recommended, no pun intended. In the Bronx in Brooklyn, they have these pizza shops called Eight Pizza. I brought it over for my cousin. It was by her request. It was dope. You get to smoke in the establishment. Also have weed infused drinks, everything. The garlic knots, everything has weed butter in it. It's delicious. Have you ever been there, Rob? I know you're a little at the moment, you're a little razor's edge, but would you enjoy something like that in your high days?
I remember I was on a video set and they brought pizza from and like soda infused from it, and I did get to try it then. I don't
Hell
remember
yeah.
ever feeling like buzzed necessarily. But it tastes good. It like the pizza actually tastes good. And
It
you
does.
know, so I was pleased with it. And I think people want stuff that's different. They want stuff that, has a little edge to it. There's no reason to leave your house if it's not if some people are big smokers, right? Like they just have to
Yeah,
fucking smoke. And there's no reason to leave your house if you can't do that. Some people they don't like to drink, they rather smoke. So if you make a place where they could smoke instead, and I rather people smoke and hang out than drink and hang out and like kill people in an accident or whatever.
true.
So let the people do what they do. Yeah, I'm all for establishments that, provide legal fun. Yeah, go for it.
Hell yeah. All right. I enjoyed it. I'm glad somebody like you would enjoy it. So I went to, so my mom, not my mom, my family, we love the arts, just like Robert and his family. I love going to museums. I love going to pop-up shops. I love going to exhibitions. So me and my sister, we usually go to see art. And I went with her to the Brooklyn Museum, one of my favorite museums in New York. I am a big fan of Art Basel. I haven't been there yet. It's on my bucket list. They have the hottest exhibit in Art Basel in Miami. This time, I think it's the first weekend of December. Hottest parties, like I said, really dope. They brought their exhibition to the Brooklyn Museum. It's here until July 2024. Get in there. It's amazing. A lot of civil rights type of stuff, a lot of abolitionist stuff, a lot of modern Kehinde, my homeboy Kehinde Wiley. He's the guy that did the Obama picture. Robert mentioned it that Trump took it out. But he's still very famous. He's still very famous, even though I don't like this photo. Get it out of here. Even though, he was being a little hater. But also, yeah, so that's a dope exhibit. Are you a fan of their music, Robert? Are you a fan of their curation of art?
Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. That's what you said. Oh yeah, I think
Yes, Miss
Alicia
Proactive.
Keys.
I mean, Usher's work boo.
Right. I've definitely always was a fan of Alicia Keys. Her music's it's iconic, especially the singles that she released. In the particular, I liked the first two albums. And then I always stuck with her through her singles. And Swiss Beats, undeniable beat maker. Like, what the fuck? You can't like once you hear Swiss Beats on the track, like he's gonna go in, right? Kanye
I agree.
West, so it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like they're
Rough
people.
Riders.
Right. I feel like they're both people who they have like a prestige to them, compared to some artists where, you may just only know them for their music. I think people connect
Good
with
point.
them. I think because of like, maybe the reality show things like they've done, like hosting like on The Voice and all that kind of stuff, or
That's
just like
right.
making appearances, like doing their appearances. I think people have got to know them and they
They're a
trust
real
their taste.
power couple.
Yeah, they
They're a
trust their
great power
taste.
couple. I agree.
Um, I know Alicia Keys, helped popularize the idea of not wearing makeup. That was a big thing with her for a
She's doing a
while.
good job.
Yep,
Well,
Pamela
not everybody looks
Anderson's
like
doing it
Alicia Keys,
now.
so it's a little
Right.
easier for. Oh well, Pamela looks a little different, but Alicia Keys, she's just naturally beauty, so it's a little easier for her to do that. The regular person,
Right.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. That
Well,
TikTok
she,
late 50 episodes, yeah, she shouldn't do that. She shouldn't follow Alicia Keys on that one.
oh no,
So
that's
anyway,
Baywatch. That's
right
that's my
the
girl. That's
right the
Julian
husband's
Assange.
gonna come out
Okay.
with his own series. The husband's gonna come out with his own series. Like every time she took off her makeup, who the fuck did I marry?
Oh my
So
God.
anyway, the I also took my dad to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Go sports, go sports. We're big NBA fans. We're big Kobe fans. Big Patrick Ewing fans. It's amazing. It's not as big as the baseball museum, which is in Cooperstown. This one is in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's kind of like the Guggenheim Museum. If you haven't been to the Guggenheim Museum, it not you, Robert, our fans. It kind of goes in a spiral. It kind of goes in like a spiral staircase, so it's kind of set up like that. Beautiful, really cool. Definitely toward the younger generation. They have a TNT studio where you can kind of do a broadcast with Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith. Then they have the little picture, like when they get bounced out of the playoffs, they can like what's it called? Photoshop you into that. Really fun. Then at the very end of the exhibit, they have an open court, plenty of basketballs, and everybody's just shooting around. I loved it. Robert, are you a fan of basketball at all? Have you ever been to a game?
Yes, I've been to a game. I used to be on a basketball team in junior high school. It was the
I didn't know that.
worst performing basketball team of all time, you know. I've had many a moment missing that ball right at the buzzer, and
I'm
it
dead.
scarred me for
I'm
life.
dead. I would pay for that footage. I would
Scarred me
pay for
for
that
life.
footage.
I was bald and
Guard me for
beautiful. I
life.
was bald even then, bald and beautiful. But yeah, I can
You are
appreciate. I
beautiful,
like.
Robert.
I think museums. It's always interesting and inspiring to go to museums because you just get to learn something about history, and there's a lot of I think depending on the museum you go to, you can find out interesting things about people who somehow paved the way for you, whether you know it or not. Like someone who's maybe a POC just like you that open doors for other people. So I can appreciate it. Yeah.
It's true. This is a future EGOT winner. So you heard it here first from him.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next subject, the last one. What the fuck did I say? All right, this is a segment where we take something silly, we take something like kind of personal in our lives, kind of like Seinfeld, a show about nothing, a segment about nothing, where we get to rant about something that's either bothering us or something ignorant that we heard. This one, I don't usually self promote myself like that. No, not self aggrandize myself. I'm a little harsh on myself, but I made it to 100 days on Duolingo, Robert,
Woo, woo, woo.
and
Hola, ni hao
Robert is
ma.
fluent. Bien. Todos los días. Yo, but I've been taking, it's embarrassing. I've been taking Spanish in school since second grade. I took it in college. I took a little bit of Italian. I took a little bit of Japanese, not as much as I took Spanish. So that's why I'm embarrassed. I still think the best way is to like immerse yourself, to like literally talk to people and like, yo, don't talk to me other than in Spanish. Go watch like something like Casa del Flora, like go like watch it like a Spanish content, either go to a Spanish country. So Duolingo, it has helped. I watched this video where a girl was on 500 days and she was trying to kind of play the app, being like, I don't know any more Spanish. I guess that's her. That's you put coming back on the mural. That's hilarious. Thank you. The smoke signals. Um, so I don't agree with her on that one. I don't think that like it made me fluent. It should. I think it's me. I think it's my fault. It's not really Duolingo's fault. I've been taking it for too long. I do better retaining it. But as someone who is bilingual over here, what do you think about my gringo ass?
Hey, I think Duolingo, I've downloaded the app. I think I actually have it, and I've never like really deep dived into it. Because I find that for me, I didn't grow up speaking Spanish necessarily. Like I always understood it, but I didn't necessarily speak it. And so really when I got into high school, there was all these great salsa songs like from La India, Mark Anthony, all that,
Yeah.
Lupe, that I grew up with that I loved. And I realized I understood most of it, but not all of it. So what I would do is I would play each song over and over, back to back. And every time I didn't know a word, I would pause it and look it up or ask somebody.
That's
And
smart.
yeah, and that's how I was like, what's a payaso vanidoso? I remember sitting in high school with my CD player and one of the Mexican girls. I was like,
Que puñeta.
Marlene. I said, Marlene, what's a payaso vanidoso? They said, that's a clown, a vain clown. I was like, oh, that's deep. I like that. So
What's up,
that,
pendejo?
that's
Que pendejo? ¿Cómo te,
what's a
cómo te
pendejo? Right. So I think that's the best way. Like I was just considering, I was looking up Lara Fabian, and she has a lot of songs in she's the one who's saying, I will love again, though my heart is breaking. Yeah. Anyway, she has a bunch of songs in French, and I was like, maybe that's how I can start to learn French. Maybe I'll listen to those songs and I'll see, because she has like 10 albums in French. I was like, maybe or Celine, and just see what I can learn that way, and just why not? Why not try to learn a new language that way? It worked before, so I'm gonna try it again. Why not?
Well, I'm jealous. I need to be bilingual, whatever way it works. But you kind of prove my point. Like sometimes it takes content. Sometimes you just really you gotta be can't be lazy about it. You really like gotta do it. Like go and find the words. I commend you on that. People do that with books. People do that even with other lyrics or even content. Like they're watching a movie, they go, "What's that word?" If you're just, in my opinion, everybody watches things for their own reasons. For me, I don't watch just to be entertained. I watch to learn. Like I still read books, but like I watch more content than I read. So like I'm always like trying to gain new perspectives from people. And with Duolingo, if anybody's not using it, here's an update on it. It's kind of like the new Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone's a little bit more expensive. As a matter of fact, Duolingo is now such a competitor. They do have a light version for the mobile app now. But before they kind of like were blockbuster, we're like, oh, we're so big, Duolingo's not going to crack into our market. And now Duolingo number one. So now they have multiple languages. They have Japanese, French, Italian. They have any language you can think of. Now they've even upped their game. They have a math version and they have a music version. So you can learn how to read music on the app. I love it. I'm a big fan. There's a pay version that's worth it, to be honest. I'm a huge fan. And hopefully my record is 240 days. My mother, I used to compete with her, but she admitted it. She would like cheat and like do like the listening exercise. So she doesn't really learn anything. She just does it for the score. And that's really what it is, to be honest. Like Snapchat. They use that platform as a game. And there's a leaderboard and you get to follow other friends. It's very competitive. But honestly, that could help. But it didn't help me. So I fell off and I lost my streak at 240. I had 240-day streaks and I gave up and it was burning me out because I was focused on competing with my mother more than learning. And so then I picked it up again and now I'm back to learning again. And so hopefully I got another 100 days in me. I told you, Robert, my gringo ass, I knew you were going to laugh at me.
You said a mouthful. I was focused on competing with my mother. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who can relate. You know?
Damn you, mother.
Right.
And we did it. We did it. Our first show together. We did all the segments. Robert was very dedicated. Thank you. Oh my God, crazy stuff happened during production.
Yeah, and we have a sketch. We did sketches for this season, so you guys stay tuned for this episode. We're gonna have a sketch there. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. You'll see us clowning around being jerks.
All right, and we didn't get to do it this episode. Don't worry, this is a new season. We're gonna have plenty of episodes in there, but please go click on subscribe, and not only that, subscribe and press the notification button so that you're seeing all our notifications. As a matter of fact, Robert has his own YouTube. Also, where else can they follow you?
Yep, get me on Instagram, Robert Mercado World. Follow my project, the Divine Intervention. That show is coming soon. My Favorite Doorman coming soon with Patrick Corbett. You can catch me in a series of Unfortunate Folks. It's a play. Well, it's not a play. It's a sketch comedy show. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all the dates coming up. So yeah, follow me there too. Shout out to Jasmine Cornell, great creator. And I will just say, yes, please follow, share, and like. It means a lot to us when you just telling your friend, hey, check this out, especially because we're going to have small clips broken down too, so you can get them in there like that. So just support your friends. It means a lot more than you think when you just take the 5 seconds it takes to post it on your story and say, hey, follow Vince, follow Robert. We appreciate that. It goes a long way. We don't have the big business behind us yet. So, you guys support, it means everything. So yeah, I would say follow me, Robert Mercado, on everywhere, and tell us, Vince, where can we find more from you?
All right, Dr. Phil, you can catch me outside. You can catch me on stillvinsane.com. You can catch me on Instagram, all stillvinsane. That's all you got to do. I have it trademarked. I have an LLC. So if you know anybody out there with that name, let me know. I got a cease and desist on the ass. Like I said, I got the website, I got the link tree. It leads you to all the places where we are on the platforms. We're on all of them. We're on Google Podcasts, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. There's nowhere we're not in reach. YouTube now has a platform for it. We're on there too. But the newer episodes, season 5, where you want to catch Robert, you got to watch the new episodes to catch my man. And he's hilarious in the skits. He's a great addition to the show. There was one more thing. Oh, yeah. And back to the sharing real quick before we go. Yo, no shade on anybody. I love all content creators, but people that you will never meet in your life, all you got to do is stop sharing maybe like 3 of them per day and share us. And we're going to set up a Patreon where you can even donate as low as $1 because like Robert said, you got to support, not got to, you don't have to support us, but we'd really appreciate it. We love doing this. We love doing it for free. But to be honest, if you want this show to get better, if you want better equipment, if you want us to be like doing live shows, if you want us to travel to your city one day, if you want us to make a full feature film one day, if you want us to keep doing skits, it's only the right thing to do. So I totally agree with you, Robert. So we're gonna get the fuck out of here. You better listen up. You better shut the fuck up and keep up with your host, Still Insane, and
Robert Medicado World. This is me now.
okay, J Ho. No joking. Thank you so much. Over and